You are listening to Phoenix and the Hummingbird Chapter 8, story written and created by Jasper BlackLace, audio by Koshi. Lucinda's POV. Seeing Genevieve so defeated made my heart sink. First her bird, and now this party. I've always heard she wasn't much for formal events, unless she could avoid them. The rumors about her still keep me on edge. Considering she's known as the maid eater, whatever that means, I don't attend tea parties enough to care. Raphael's character completely changed the instant we watched her shut her door in front of us. His skin paled and his smile faded. She really hates formal events, I see. I placed my hand on his shoulder as he straightened himself. Not when Lacey's there. No. She does nothing but stir up trouble. He placed his head in his hands, and we began to walk towards his study. Lacey, as in Lacey Archeron? He walked about 3 steps ahead of me, giving me a delicious view of his sharp shoulders and solid physique. Precisely. They've been at war for at least 6 years in the social scene, and she's caused Genevieve to be removed from all of Madame Claw's tea parties as a result. His hands did so much talking, I could not miss his worry and frustration. I take it we won't have an uneventful evening, then? My voice came out more annoyed than I wanted it to. Genevieve has been helpful to me since the start, so finding out someone has it out for her is twisting my protection nerve way past the point of remaining level-headed. All I can see is red, and I don't think it'll get any easier. No. It won't be a quiet evening regardless. Not to mention all the setup and preparation we'll have to do to accommodate everyone from overseas. We'll have to get more high-quality food shipped before next week, which is going to cost a fortune. I just hope the maids can get everything ready in the main ballroom and the secondary one, not to mention the guest rooms for all the high nobles. I stopped paying attention after fortune, and began planning my way to help relieve the stress he was clearly under at this very moment. We reached his study fairly quickly, and we entered. He brushed his hand through his hair and sighed deeply. He honestly seemed to forget my presence pretty quickly, and immediately started working on the budget. Instead of being a wife in name only, I chose to be helpful, especially since he was helping me with my sister. Let me take a look. I walked over, standing behind him, pulled the budget ledger towards myself to read through it. Their monthly income is not as high as it should be for an empire, so making sure the best quality food is available isn't going to be easy. So, can I ask why our recreational income is being overspent? It seems as though almost every week their grocery budget is losing almost 50% to recreation when it should be used on food. If I'm being honest, that should be stopping for a while, but I don't know how long. It has to do with my sister, and it's a deal we made a while ago. He looks hesitant to discuss this with me, so I won't push him. However, it should be a permanent fix, not temporary. Okay, so if the overspending stops, we'll be able to afford high-quality food for this party next week. However, we'll have to import it from my father to save on taxes and transport fees. I will send a carrier pigeon tomorrow, and we should have that in motion by Wednesday. He looked up at me with a hopeful gaze. So, everything will be here by Friday? 2 days early? Lucinda, you're amazing. He wrapped his arms around my waist, hugging me with his face just below my chest. I giggle in response, holding him in my arms gently. I'll have him send some of my decorations I've purchased over the years as well. Save us some more there, too. My sister and I will go to town tomorrow to talk to some shops to get deals on fresh plants for the gardens and hallway decorations. His hold got tighter as I felt small patches of heat hit my stomach. I instinctively pulled away and held his head in my hands. Why are you crying, silly? I'm just so thankful. I didn't send you away against my better judgment. I've always worried over these things on my own, and with my deal with Genevieve, I can't help but wonder if I made a stupid choice. His gaze lowered to the ground. Can I ask what you get in return for getting more funds for recreational activities? I know I said I'd let it go, but if it's that easy for them to be so low on funds, her behavior needs to be edited, at least till our marriage is finalized and my wealth will be introduced. In exchange for the land of Grotopia and unlimited spending money, I get the throne. My jaw hit the floor at the realization that his sister is giving up her chance at owning this empire. As to why, I am very curious. Most would ask for so much more than the title of Duchess and money. I also promised her a law change that goes into effect upon my coronation. But it's not something I can tell you about right now, as it's her secret and I can't break that trust. The tears were drying slightly, but not completely gone. I, for one, know exactly how fragile trust can be, so I will respect that. However, we need to talk to her about this. I'm willing to keep this deal past your coronation if she promises not to spend so much until our marriage is final. It will set us up for success, and we'll be able to keep your promise. I'll speak to her tomorrow about it. Now stop crying, you silly boy. She'll understand. My hope for her understanding wasn't as strong as the faith of having one hell of an engagement ball, but I have to trust in Genevieve, so I just hope I'm as convincing as I look. I'm not crying. I'm just sweating. His silly response made me giggle before I sealed his mouth with mine. I may have not known him very long, but he's a very lovable man, and his passion for keeping his word is even more reassuring where my sister is concerned. He returned the kiss by pulling me in between his legs and groaning against my mouth. The kiss grew hungry as his grip grew tighter and my hands slicked with sweat from nerves. I've never been nervous around a man, but this one sent shivers down my spine. He stands up, pulling back from my mouth and replacing his heat with cold air. He pushes his chair back and lifts me from my feet, sitting me down on his desk. His hands began exploring my body respectfully, sending bold heat down to my core before standing between my legs, looking deeply into my eyes with gratitude and hope before returning his warmth and whimpering my name into my mouth. I return the kiss and the explorative nature before we get interrupted by a knock on his door. Your Highness, Lucinda, your sister is here for you. My adrenaline rushed through my skin, creating a thick layer of goosebumps all down my arms. Instinctively, I rushed to the door and swung it open, not thinking to fix my shambled appearance and sweat-soaked skin. What's wrong? My frantic appearance and wild eyes made her body shiver, and her face became mischievous and full of held-back laughter. She quickly writes on her paper and spins it to me with a grin. Why are your lips swollen? I felt my skin heat with embarrassment before I could look over at Raphael and sighed. Don't be so nosy. What is it, Ophelia? My voice became rigid. She knows damn well why my lips are swollen, and she takes so much pride in being a cockblock. Her smile subsides, and she writes quickly before turning it back to me. You were late coming back, and I got worried. I'm sorry. I looked at the clock beside the door and realized it was 12:30 in the morning. So her worry was understandable, considering I promised to be back by 8:30 to help her bathe. I'm sorry. We got busy with finances and party planning. I'm on my way back now. Can you meet me back at the room? Her eyes lit up at the word party, and she nodded before rushing off back to our room. When it comes to her, she always acts like a little kid in front of me. It's adorable. Most of the time. I shut the door and walked back to my future husband. Sorry about that. Looks like I'm needed elsewhere now. His face was still inflamed with lust and thankfulness. I understand. Do you need me to walk you back? I can see him visibly holding himself back, and I grin at him. No, Your Highness, but next time, how about you take the lead? I wink at him playfully and walk over, grabbing my shawl and planting a kiss on his cheek. I purposely sway my hips a bit more before walking out the study door. All I hear is a muffled groan of lust and frustration through his door, making me giggle as my core heats in response. You have completed Chapter 8 of Phoenix and the Hummingbird, story written and created by Jasper BlackLace and audio by Kawushi. Just letting you guys know, there will not be an upload for either this or Twisted Morals next week, as I myself will be on vacation and Jasper's giving me that time off, so we will see you guys in 2 weeks for the next update. Love you guys, see you next time.